Welcome to the Deborah Kennedy Show. Three of my favorite words are empathy, compassion, and opportunity. Tonight I have two very special guests that are actually very, very best friends that I've known for a very long time. And they have such a touching story to tell that we want to share it with you, our audience. Josh Meeks.
Hello.
Scott Cooper. It's so good to have you on the set tonight.
It's amazing to be here.
We have known each other for a long time.
A long time.
A long time. A long time, which is great. We have history together.
Absolutely.
I started out first at, you were my agent, my daughter's agent, still my agent. But you do so many things. But the most important thing that I feel that you give back to life is the opportunity you give others, not only through the agencies and the talent, but at home. So walk me through a little bit about the struggles that you two had when you wanted to adopt a child. Scott, let's start with you.
All right. So basically, we just kind of looked at all the different avenues as far as adopting children, and we realized that the path that we wanted to take was really to go through the foster care program, because I feel like a lot of times people spend so much money going to China and going to these foreign countries and bringing children back to the U.S. to adopt. But there, we were in Mecklenburg County, and there, are hundreds of kids in our own county that didn't have homes, didn't have a place to live. And so our ultimate goal, we thought we wanted to adopt, but we wanted to do it through the foster program because we felt like it was important to really do it within our own community versus going out somewhere else.
So I remember in the beginning the struggle that it was, because a lot of people think adoption is so easy. We have all these children that need homes, whether it's foster care or orphanages or all the different modalities of adopting within our states. It wasn't easy.
No. It was a very long process. Mm-hmm. It was, a two-year process to be exact, from the time we started fostering till adopting. But even before then, it took a year and a half before we ever got a placement into the house, too.
Right, because I think that's a process that people don't understand the difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are so many children out there that need a loving home. Mm-hmm. And you throw into the mix of all the different letters you have to write, the investigations that you have to go through, all the different hoops that you have to jump through. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's challenging, but not discouraging, because you have such a good story that we're going to share about,
right.
The life that after you had the children in foster care for how long before you adopted? A year and a half, 2?
2 years.
It was 2 years.
2 years.
And the thing that, it is a process to become a foster parent. So you do go through usually a 10-week period of classes, which I feel like all parents should actually go through these classes.
Absolutely.
Because, I have biological children, and I learned things that I wish I had known with my own children through these classes. And, you learn CPR, all of these skills that you potentially will need as a parent, and then once you do get your certification as a foster parent, then it's kind of a waiting game as to where, we were kind of open to different ages and different races and things like that. Some people are very specific. They want to get a baby. They want, so we were very open to kind of different types of kids, which I think makes it a little bit easier to place in a foster home, but it still took about a year and a half for us actually to get that first call.
So you opened your home and you did foster care, and you fell in love with these boys
Oh, immediately.
immediately.
Yeah.
So there has to be a moment of, I'm falling in love with these two boys. What if it doesn't work out? Do you just go with the plan and pray that it works out, or do you, because you can't really hold back as a parent, right?
Right.
As a foster parent or parent.
I think we made the conscious decision that when we were bringing anybody into our house, we were going to give them the best life we could provide, whether they were staying or not. If they weren't going to stay, they would still have that memory to look back on and have a great experience. So
Yeah, you have to, if you're a foster parent, you have to look at it as if they are going to be reunited with their family.
Absolutely.
So you want to really give them a lot of encouragement, love, support, because some kids are coming from very bad situations, and so you want them to potentially see what their lives could be like as parents, potentially, and
Absolutely.
and so you have to go into it with that thought in mind. I'm going to give these kids the best experience, whether it's 1 month or 3 years, because and we did go through that. There were many times where you go to court, and there are other family members that potentially are thinking about adopting the kids. Our kids' situation, they both had the same mother, but they had different fathers. But the court, it was very important for them to keep the boys together because they were the two only family they really knew, our consistency. So, it had to be, if it was somebody within their family that adopted, they had to agree to take both children. So, and we are, of course, wanting to give that home to both the brothers, but it's not up to you, honestly. It's up to the court.
Courts. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to show some wonderful pictures, and we're going to talk about, when we come back, the challenges and the opportunities and the love.
Oh, perfect.
So
Absolutely.
enjoy these fabulous pictures. Now we're back. What amazing pictures. What a story, and what a trajectory of life that they've had. So when I went to break, we were going to say we're going to talk about the challenges and the rewards, opportunities. So what were some of the challenges as parents?
I think that one of the challenges was our oldest, William, was used to being the parent to the youngest.
Yeah.
So a lot of times he was always correcting his younger brother and telling him, and part of our goal was to tell him, you don't have to be a parent anymore. You can be a kid. Let us do that job, and for him to relinquish that was hard. I mean, he was 10,
Absolutely.
right? And
Right.
Cooper was 7 when we got them, but he was so used to
parent.
doing that. Yeah, and I think that we learned a lot as foster parents, because when they first came, we took them to Disney and we took them on a cruise and all of these things.
Yeah.
And then I think that we learned a lot because Cooper, the 7-year-old, at Thanksgiving had to write a paper on the things that he was thankful for. And, we're thinking he's going to put, I went on a cruise and I went to Disney and all these things. And literally he was like, I'm thankful that I have food to eat every day and that I have a bed to sleep in every night. And, so many things that so many families and kids take for granted and don't really think about. And we didn't even think about,
At all.
And so it really humbled us to think, that's what's really important to these kids is the love and the consistency.
Consistency. I think that's so important because you do think you wanted to give them the things that they had not experienced nor would probably ever experience.
Exactly.
But what it came down to was values and nourishment, and love. A home and a loving family that, they had a bed to sleep in at night, food to eat. There also had to be challenges with structure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all of us getting on the same schedule, new routines, little kids in the house now. Like, everything changed.
So structure for everyone.
For everybody.
Not just the boys, but structure for you as well.
Exactly.
Because it had been years, since you had children, small children.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the best part, the rewards. There's so many.
Oh, so many. Too many to list.
But let's start with a few.
Well, they've grown up to be amazing young men, and I don't know where to
So
start.
let's talk about the amazing young men. Tell me what they're doing and how they were able to follow their passion and their dreams.
Well, we wanted to open as many doors for them as possible. So we literally were like, they'd never done sports. They'd never taken a class, anything outside of school. So we were like, choose anything. They went through martial arts. They went through baseball. They went through football. A really close friend of ours worked as a dance teacher at a dance studio, and she got them into dance class. And so throughout their school, they were doing several things, but they both ended up really liking dance. And so William, our 21-year-old, is now a junior at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts. He's a contemporary dance major. Our 18-year-old Cooper is now working at the San Francisco Ballet as a trainee there. He actually graduated from their program on full scholarship. And so they're both going into the arts, honestly. And I'm from an arts background, so, I was excited about that. But it really has to be the kids' decision on what they really liked. And they both realized that they made more girlfriends in dance class than they did in football or baseball, right?
Well,
so,
Smart boys.
yeah, and so they, boys, there are fewer male dancers, so they're always the center of every number, and they were like, oh, we can get used to this, right? So
We're stars.
Exactly.
so they've done very well.
So I think too, it's like amazing because children, not even adopted children, but children sometimes don't follow their dreams because there's
Exactly.
obstacles. To have two boys that you love so much, and to have all of these opportunities that they would not have had, if you were not their parents. Let's be honest. And so their dreams are coming true. And I know you both so well. And what you have such empathy and compassion, not only are they following their dreams, but they're good kids. They're good
great
people.
kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's on their end, right? I mean, you can give people the tools to be good people, but they have to use those tools, right? So,
Right.
the only thing we can do as parents is to lead people in the right direction. But these boys chose the right direction, right? I mean, they're the ones that took those tools up, and the things that they learned, they're practicing those things now. So, everybody says you guys have been such a blessing to their lives, but they've been more of a blessing to us,
ours.
honestly.
Absolutely.
They've really just enriched our lives and made us proud of the men that they've become.
Absolutely.
So we're going to wrap up with there are audience members out there that perhaps considering foster care. So what words of wisdom would you share, and also what would you like them to know about how rewarding it is?
I think for me, keep an open mind and listen, because they're going to tell you what they need and what their wants are.
And I think a lot of times people don't realize the benefits of being a foster parent. I always say, if every family in America would take a foster child that was the same age as their youngest, it's no more years of service. It's just one more mouth to feed. And, all of these kids being shown love and guidance would change the world, honestly, because so many of the problems in society are kids that don't have family, don't have love. And, as foster parents, you're supported by the state. You get a monthly stipend to help you raise these children. All of their medical is taken care of until they're 18. Because we adopted William after he was 12, he got 4 years of in-state college paid for. So there are lots of benefits to families to not go the traditional adoption route, but to go through the foster system. Then they're still supported by the state, and it really makes it worth it.
Well, I'm honored to call you my dear, dear, dear best friends, but I'm also honored to know you and how you give back to not only the boys, but to the community, and you really make a difference. And that's what life is about, making a difference. So thank you so much with your crazy busy schedules for stopping by the set tonight. And I hope that your words have inspired just one person out there to invite the foster care process into their homes and to make a difference.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. Thank you for sharing our story. I appreciate it.
So life is about a story and making a difference. Maybe this has inspired you to look further into foster care because you can be the difference that we need in the world today.
If you are in the fashion, art, or entertainment industry and would like to be a guest on the Deborah Kennedy Show, just go to DeborahKennedyShow.com and you could be a guest just like me.
Tonight, my special guest is Leanna Calvin. So excited to have you tonight.
Excited to be
with
here.
the Exposure Project. And I love giving back to community, but I really think that is what makes a difference in the world. And there's no better cause than small children. And tell me a little bit about your project and how it got started.
Yeah, so we work with middle and high school young people. So I always give my origin story of where I'm from because it translates into how we got started. So I'm originally from California, born and raised, went to school in Alabama and grad school in New York. And so I have a background in social work and mental health. And a lot of times I will ask young people, like, what do you want to be when you get older? I will either hear one of two things. So something in entertainment industry or something in the sports related industry. And the reality of every kid being a basketball player was probably not going to happen.
Slim to none.
So Exposure Project was birthed literally from that for them to see other careers, but through hands-on experiences.
So I love, too, a lot of what you talk about is uniqueness. And I think that you had a good story that you had great role models. Like, you have lived across the country in all these different areas, but people that inspired you. And people, when we're growing up, it really is those people, our teachers, our neighbor, a friend that can really make a difference in your life. Not everyone's going to be an actor. Not everyone's going to be, a rock star, a basketball or football player. But everyone's an individual that has a dream. And sometimes I think with children, it's challenging because they do not realize their potential. So when you have someone or a cause like yours that just magnifies the dreams of these kids and makes it possible is so important.
Yeah, I agree. I think, as you mentioned, like, influence is very important, right? And again, it's in the name Exposure Project. Like, you don't know what you're not exposed to. And so a lot of times, as you mentioned before, like, they have these kind of innate abilities to do great things. But unless somebody is kind of there to say, hey, like, have you thought about doing that and turning it into a career, they don't always have that opportunity. So,
Right.
yeah.
Because I think today's times is even more challenging because we look at all the social media.
Yeah.
And we are on Facebook, the children are, and social media and TikTok. And sometimes that can decompress anyone's confidence level because sometimes you're not enough. You're not like this kid. Well, that's a moment of fame on TikTok. I mean, the great news is anybody can be a superstar on TikTok, but the bad news is it can also deflate dreams. And I love what you do because what you're trying to do is inflate dreams. It's make dreams possible. Bring out the uniqueness. How do you bring out the uniqueness in the children that you work with?
I guess when we So when I think about bringing out the uniqueness, I guess really is exposing them to the parts of themselves they don't always see. So with our program, we do a few different things. So yes, a big component of it is them shadowing different industry experts, but we do weekly character development sessions. And so a lot of times when I say that, people are like, what is character development? So it's really taking the time to get to know like who they are, what emotions they feel, how does it govern kind of their life and just how they move. So when it comes to their uniqueness, it's doing things like that to really allow them to dig deep into like who they are.
Right. We're going to take a quick break and watch a video of the Empowerment Project, and we'll be right back. Enjoy your video.
I know they see you when they want you. I know they see you when they want to make you who they want you to be. I know that life is trying to get you. I know that life is calling out to you by your name. But don't listen, resist it, keep running. Don't you stop for nothing, just keep kicking. Remember where you came from, don't forget what you already know. What you got is amazing, hold it, don't you let it go. You hold the light, you hold the light. You hold the light and it's shining and making darker places brighter, you lighter. You hold the light, you got a lot. You bring a lot, you bring a lot. And it's evident they could see it, they won't end it. But it's not for the taking, it's not for the changing. No, it's not for remixing, it's not for remaking, alright. So they lining up to take it, alright. I can't let them take my you know I ride for you, yeah. I won't let them take you, I won't let them take you. I'll be your protection, I'll be your direction, yeah, I'll be your protector. You know I ride, I fight for you, I'll fight for you, I'll fight for you. You know I'm fighting cause I refuse to lose you. Fighting cause I refuse to lose you. I'll fight, you know I'm ready. Situations will approach you, and opportunities to fade, shade, and downgrade will provoke you. And those you trust will start to turn to. So never pay too much attention to the things they say they won't do. And you gotta be persistent, and believe me, you ain't seen much, it's just the beginning. More walking, slow to speaking, but be quick to listen. Be mindful, you be vigilant, and pay attention. Because you hold the light, you hold the light. You hold the light and it's shining and making darker places brighter, you lighter. You hold the light, you got a lot. You bring a lot, you bring a lot. And it's evident they could see it, they won't end it. But it's not for the taking, it's not for the changing. No, it's not for remixing, it's not for remaking, alright. So they lining up to take it, alright. I can't let them take my you know I ride for you. I won't let them take you, I won't let them take you. I'll be your protection, I'll be your direction, yeah, I'll be your protector. You know I ride, I fight for you, I'll fight for you, I'll fight for you. You know I'm fighting cause I refuse to lose you. Fighting cause I refuse to lose you. I'll fight, you know I'm ready. There's no need to worry about them let me downs. You can count them instinct the moment you let me round. I torched it, screamed, shouted, and forced it to move off that groove and made on the porch of your heart. I knew from the start it was gonna be wars. The grounds we fighting for, the thought of you free from danger, hurt, fear, depression, and anger, confusion.
And now we're back. What an amazing video showing a little of what you do with the project. Tell me a little bit about how and where you would like to see the Empowerment Project explode.
Yeah, so I am a tremendous dreamer. And so we call our kids game changers, and I encourage them to dream with us. So as I'm dreaming about what Exposure Project looks like in the next 5 years, they're also dreaming with me. So one of our big dreams in the near future, I really would love for us to start a food truck business. And so I look at it from various perspectives. So one, they're having that hands-on experience and learning about the art of culinary, but they're also learning about food photography. They're learning about marketing. They're learning about entrepreneurship. So we're starting the business from scratch, literally, as we speak. But then also allows them the chance to be able to work the food truck and get compensation from doing it, and also brings funds back into the organization so that we can continue to grow. So that's one of our dreams. There's a lot of them, but that's
a big
one.
But what I love about that is when you mentioned earlier, like most kids' dreams, like you said, the entertainment industry or sports. This is a dream that any of the children that you work with, not that the others can't happen, because they can, but this is a dream that anyone can have. Anybody can, go to school, you learn the craft, you work the craft, you could own your own restaurant, you can own your own food truck. I love that because it's real life opportunities.
Sure.
So currently you're in communities.
Yeah, so we're in community-based settings. So we partner with Enlivian, which is the former housing authority. And so we go into some of their high-need areas and work with some of their young people. So we're in a few different communities around Charlotte, Renaissance West, Arbor Glen, and Southside Homes. But yeah, we're heavily in community-based settings.
So, and I love that too, because let's be real. In life, not every child has the same opportunity. They don't. And some kids don't even get meals every day. And their parents aren't even home every day. Some live with their grandparents, some live by themselves. To have a community that they can go to and they can thrive, and like you said, their uniqueness can be found. They can be lifted up. Their dreams can come true because of your project, and that has to be an amazing feeling.
Yeah. I like to say we are the facilitators of their growth, right? I think a lot of times when we're in the nonprofit space, we could sometimes speak about children from like a deficit standpoint versus like what are their assets, right? And so, yes, I think Exposure Project is the catalyst to helping them like reach their dreams for sure.
Right. And like I said, kids are not all created equal, but personalities are not all equal, as well as gifts are not all equal. There could be some rock star that just needed that little tiny bit of lifting up. That, who knows, that person could be the next president, not a food truck owner or not a restaurant owner, or something amazing like an inventor, the next scientist, so whatever. So it's really great that you're doing this and you're giving back to the community, but also you're reaching out to our future leaders. You're making them feel empowered and important.
For sure. Yeah.
So as we close, I want you to tell our audience out there just a few things that we can look forward to and how we can help your project.
Yeah, I think with us being a growing nonprofit, volunteers are always important. And so volunteering, if it's directly working with our young people and chaperoning trips for them to go on, or if it's behind the scenes and kind of working with our fundraising committees and things like that, those are areas of engagement. Things to look forward to. We have a big youth summit every year. So it's an experiential youth summit, and that'll be happening in March. And so we always have something going on.
Well, I love it. Well, Leanna, you're just a delight. Thank you for stopping by the set. But more importantly, thank you for what you're doing for not only our community, but for our future leaders. You're amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Really, life is about making a difference, one little step at a time. Giving that lending hand, or maybe just lifting up the person or the child that maybe needs it. It's up to us to make that difference. You can be that difference.
When you look around, see the tears falling down. In a world so cold, where there seems to be no hope. So just look inside. There's an